不留冲突的中国玩家们，大家好，我是你们的老朋友 Darian。如果你问我为什么今天要说中文，因为我想给大家展示我的中文有进步了。And today marks the 11th anniversary of Clash of Clans. So, with that in mind, I believe that there's a ton of you Chiefs out there watching this at this very moment. For a game that has been around for 11 years, we are truly proud of this monumental moment. So, on behalf of the Clash of Clans team, we'd like to thank you for all of your support for the last 11 years. At the same time, we have a ton of cool Clash-iversary or Clash of Clans anniversary celebration events for all players. We hope you enjoy it, but going into the future, we have a lot of cool and new exciting content that we're working on. A lot of new cool updates, a lot of cool new features. So we're pretty sure that it's gonna keep you guys excited for the next 11 years of Clash of Clans. So with that in mind, happy Clash-iversary, and until next time, Clash on.
Is Pekka actually a girl? And what was the design inspiration behind Pekka? Well, yes, Pekka is a she. That's been established for a long time in Clash of Clans lore. Now, the design inspiration for Pekka, well, that's kind of a wild one. Is Pekka a robot? A warrior with swords? 11 years ago, Clash of Clans was a wildly different place with a lot of crazy ideas, and Pekka was something completely original and new, unlike anything anybody's ever seen before. She hits hard, she takes a lot of damage, and, you know, some mysteries are better left unanswered. So before Town Hall 14, there was an owl hidden in the Clan Games reward. Yes, that was intentional. We knew that we were going to introduce hero pets later on in a future update. And that was a slight little Easter egg that, you know, a few players caught. Will we do future Easter eggs like that? Well, who knows? You'll just have to keep a sharp eye out to see what we include in our social media posts, in our Clan Game rewards, in our videos, just to see what exactly is going to come in a future update. We won't do it every time, but every now and then we might include a little hint. So where does Electro Dragon's lightning come from? Well, he does spit it out from his mouth, but is that lightning formed in his stomach? Is it in his throat? In his brain? Maybe in his tail? My own personal theory is that Electro Dragon likes flying above the clouds, collecting all the lightning from all the storms that happen, from everybody's lightning spells, all the magical energy, and he stores that in him like a giant battery. And then when he can't hold it anymore, he likes to spit it out, causing massive amounts of damage to everything that he shoots. That's my theory, and that's what I'm going with. Whether that's the official one or not, well, I'll leave that for you to decide. So, regarding the builder, the Grand Builder and the Master Builder, is there a family relationship between them? It's highly unlikely. Master Builder, he's kind of like this expert. He does his own thing. He wanted to go off to far-off lands, establish his own kind of village, which is the builder base. Builder is kind of like your average everyday builder who helps you around your normal home village. Now the Grand Builder, he's been up in the clan capital for a very long time, all by himself, basically sitting there for so long. Spiderwebs are starting to form, dust is starting to collect over him. He is ancient. He's probably the wisest of all the builders, knows the coolest builder secrets, but there's no father-son family relationship, just different levels of expertise, and they're different characters with different personalities. The voice of Hog Rider. Why does he sound like that? Who knows? Maybe he's been riding on the hog too long. But he does have a very iconic voice.
Oh yeah, I'll do Hog Rider.
The Hua Mulan Archer Queen skin is really cool. It's probably one of my favorites and also one of the favorites among Clash players. Will we do more cultural themed skins like that in the future? It's highly possible. We do our Lunar New Year skins. Each one of those has a very distinct New Year flair and New Year influence to it. So maybe next year we'll have a different themed one, but I'm sure we'll have different cultural themed skins in the future. So keep an eye out for future skins. Again, that one's one of our favorites. It's probably one of the coolest ones, so I wouldn't be surprised if more come in the future. Is Barbarian the first Clash character we ever designed? That's a really good question. And why is he used as the game icon? When Clash of Clans was developed, he wasn't the very first troop, because a lot of troops were designed when the game was in development. They had Archer, Goblins, and if you remember what the game looked like back then, the art style was very different compared to what it is now. Barbarian's own art style has changed over the years, and so have many of the other characters. Now, why is he the icon? Well, you know, that screaming, angry face with the saliva coming out, and whether that is his hair or a helmet, nobody knows, but these are some of the most recognizable and iconic features of Clash of Clans. So of course, it's no surprise he serves as the representative of Clash of Clans to the rest of the world.
我是谁？
So we get asked this question quite a bit. Will we see a fifth hero in Clash of Clans? I can't say yes, and I can't say no. The reason why we haven't added a fifth hero just yet is that we don't want the game to get too complicated. Right now, it's already complicated enough trying to manage 4 different heroes during a battle at the same time, knowing when to activate each hero's ability, while also keeping an eye on all of your troops and all of your spells, making sure that you get every single timing correct. If we add a fifth hero to that, it does add a lot of complexity that could make the game a lot more frustrating. Now, we would love to add more heroes in the future, but we need to come up with a much more design-friendly way that makes it so you can use multiple heroes without making it overly complicated. Now, whether that means if there's 5 heroes available, 6 heroes available, but you can only choose 4 of them at a time, that's one option. But we haven't gotten to that point yet, and we'll have to sit and think about how we want to design the game with more heroes into the future. So with the home village being always in daylight and builder base being always in night, the clan capital isn't technically in the air. It's a giant mountain that you just can't see the bottom of. So it's not floating, it's just the tip of it is above the clouds. So let's correct that. Let's make that correction right from the start, that it's not flying. It's just a very tall mountain with a lot of lost and ruined buildings that have been sitting around empty for many, many, many years, possibly hundreds, if not thousands of years. So right now, these 3 features, home village, builder base, and clan capital, form what we call our wheel of development. That means when we work on home village, every 18 months, there will be a new town hall update. When we add new clan capital content, every 18 months after that, there should be a new major clan capital update. And the same thing goes for builder base. So these are always in rotation. So we'll do a home village, then builder base, then clan capital, then home village, then builder base, then clan capital update. Now that's not a promise. We may change them now and then based on what the needs of the game are. But that's at least our design philosophy for now. Will we add a new feature to Clash of Clans, like an underwater base or an underground base? Who knows? We don't have any plans for it right now, but we have discussed different ideas about something like a Boom Beach mega crab event where you go dig deeper into underground, where every level gets harder and harder and harder and harder, and you keep going until it becomes so difficult you can't progress anymore. So these are some ideas that we're kind of just discussing, but nothing's really in development right now to add that many new features to the game. We want to make sure that the core experience of Clash of Clans will always be the home village. That is the heart and soul of Clash of Clans, and builder base and clan capital are just extra things for players to do outside of the home village. We don't want to add so many features and so many new villages to the game where it kind of loses focus on where the heart of the game is. So, Will we add new features in the future? Possibly and most likely yes. But right now, we want to focus purely on what the core gameplay is of Clash of Clans. As we add more content to Clash of Clans, we know that we will be adding new troops in the future, whether that's new super troops, new clan capital troops, new builder-based troops, or more home village troops. There will always be new units being added to the game. Not in every update, but you can pretty much guarantee that there will be new troops in the future. So how do we manage between keeping the old ones exciting on one hand, while making sure that the new ones are super cool and exciting as well? And at one point, the game may have so many troops that it may be hard to choose which ones you want to use. So this is where game balance comes into play. Our game designers work very hard to make sure that the older troops, such as Barbarian, Archer, Goblin, they get added levels with each Town Hall update to make sure that they're still usable to max level players. At the same time, when we add new troops, we want to make sure that they're cool, new and exciting, and do something different from those older ones. So how do we keep things fresh? Well, that's why we did Super Troops. Super Troops was a way for new life to be given to those classic troops like Super Valkyrie, Super Barbarian, Sneaky Goblins, Super Bowler, and so forth. So we'll have to come up with new and exciting ways to keep those old troops fresh while still being able to add new ones. But yes, there will come a point where there's going to be so many troops that we may need to think about, how we want to do a troop management system. If you had to choose from 50 or even 100 different troops, that may get to be a little much. But we're not there yet, so hopefully we'll come up with a really cool idea in the future. At last, I really miss seeing, hanging out with, and interacting with our Chinese players. And I really apologize in advance for my terrible Chinese, but let's see if I can get this right. 如不有从突袭以9年生日快乐，感谢大家的陪伴. Is that right? Did I say happy 11th Clash anniversary to all of our Clash players and thank you for everything? I hope so. If not, I really apologize. So until next time, Clash on.